All right, it is Sunday night, October 15th. I'll give you guys a chance to come in. I have timed myself perfectly. Do my hair up there. I have been canning all day, so yeah, glad I was able to finish just in time to get a little zhuzh on my hair, put a little lipstick on, and come in and see where you guys are at. Oh, hold on. Come in and see where you guys are at. Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay. All right. Hey, Dr. Jen. How you doing, girl? Hey, how's practice going for you? You doing good? Oh, hold on. Just get my graphic. Let's see. There. Shut my audio off on my computer. It's nice to see you. Yeah, hit that thumbs up button for me so that we know you're here. And yeah, what is going on? How are you doing? How's life? How's practice? All the good things. All right. Everything's great here. It is food preservation time. So, hey, Lisa D, how are you? Hit that thumbs up button on the way in. So great to see you. I know, nice to see you. Yeah, it's been way too long. So yeah, I hope all is well. I think about you often. I hope everything's going great in your world and in practice. And where are you at? Are you still in Tennessee? Hey, Bill, my buddy Bill. Bill and I got to hang out yesterday and do a farm tour together for the Michigan Fruit and Nut Growers Association. It was really awesome. I've got a great video that I did. I went out to Bill's farm a couple weeks ago, did a tour. It was chestnut picking season. So I took some video of that and just got some really nice content of his farm. So stay tuned for that. You know, it's not like I'm like super fast at these things. So Dr. Jen, down 60 pounds, girl. For real, nice job. Oh my gosh, what have you been doing? Tell me. Listen, walk the talk, right? I mean, that's great. So Dr. Jen, she's a chiropractor. And so I love it. I love that you leaned into it. What a great story you have to tell and lead people into that. Hey, Peaceful Penguin, how are you? Great to see you. Nice to have you here. I was thinking about you today and our conversations about Joel Salatin. We really need to do that. So somebody wants to say hi. What you got? What you got? So when Bill and I were doing our video, everything was totally fine. It was quiet. It was peaceful. We were out in the field, and right. Oops, shoot, sorry, lost my phone on my thing. And right when I turned the camera on, my dog, his dogs, they all started barking and playing and being rambunctious, and then a helicopter flew overhead. So it's kind of like, sorry, I'm just trying to get my tripod set. Yeah, so of course, the camera just went on. So here's Bentley. He's like, hey, it's time to play. Dr. Jen says, carnivore, walking, rowing, lifting, tennis, nice job. Way to lean into it. I love it. It's great. I know, Lisa. Really, like Bentley, he's legit. I've been canning all day, and he's been quiet the whole day until right now. I mean, because why not? Yeah, you know, he knows that this is like go time for him, right? Like, let's turn the camera on and give him some camera time, I think. So, so it's great. Nice to see you guys on here. Bill, so Bill is going to bring me apples next week, and we're going to do some, we're going to can some applesauce. So I haven't done applesauce in a few years, and I'm kind of hankering for that. So looking forward to that. I know Lisa D, love that about him too, right? I love that about him. I know he's, it's like a kid. You just have to, you got to go with it, go with the flow. And today I did salsa, and so today was salsa day, and I got, it was a small haul today. I have 26 jars. My normal salsa canning has been oh gosh, I do probably close to 100 jars a year. And this year, I had been doing back safety trainings, and what I like to do is the farmers market is on Wednesday, so I like to go. No, now he's lapping up water. You guys can probably hear that. So farmers market's on Wednesday. I like to go get the tomatoes, get all the vegetables, and then come home and prepare everything right like on that same day. We'll wait. It's okay. We'll wait. So, oh, now he's eating. That food's been sitting in his bowl all day, probably for 2 days, I think. And now he's gonna eat it. Okay. So, anyway, so I like to do, I know Lisa D, crazy. Jen says, I use Ina Garden's applesauce recipe, bakes it in the oven. Oh, that's interesting. I never thought to put it in the oven. I actually like to put it in my slow cooker because it melts them and you don't get any burning around the edge. If you put it in a pot, you get that you get an uneven melting down or baking of the apples. So, but that's actually a great idea, is to put it in the oven. Okay, thank you for that. I think we're gonna try that for next week. So anyway, normally I like to do my salsa on Wednesdays. I went last Wednesday and I was not able to can last Wednesday, but he was like, these are all the tomatoes I have. I said, I will take them all. It was 50 pounds of tomatoes. Now to contrast that, I normally do about 300 pounds of tomatoes in a day. I have my canning process down like to a freaking science. And I was telling Bill yesterday, I said, yeah, so I left the event and I said, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna process the tomatoes so they're ready for today. Because here's the thing, when you're doing things like this, does it matter if you have 50 pounds or 200 pounds? I'm telling you, it really doesn't matter. It's a matter of a little bit of extra time, but the work that goes into it, it's all the same. So I came home yesterday. Are you done yet? Are you done? Are we good? No, just, oh, okay. I think you might be done. Anywho, so the work that goes into processing the tomatoes. So I take my tomatoes, you gotta wash them, and then I put them into, and then I weigh everything. So after I wash them, I weigh them. How many tomatoes do I have? Because then I need to know how much vegetables I need to go get, onions, green onions, all that. So then I cut the tops off, and then I throw them into the big canning thing in the basket, and I blanch them. And then I pull them out, throw them, put them in cold water, and then I take them out and I squeeze them. So I don't even bother with, I actually like the skins in them because it really makes it really meaty. So I squeeze them, I just do squeeze, boom, throw it into a bucket. And then from there I reweigh it. Then I'm like, okay, then I run it through my food processor, then I reweigh it. So then I know how much sweet onion, green onion, garlic, and all the other things I need to get. So I nailed it today. Today was like probably the most perfect recipe that I had. So what's interesting about it is that I did the tomatoes last night, and they started to oxidize slightly. You guys wouldn't know, but I would know. There's a flavor there, right? There's a flavor difference. So you got to do it in one day. But here's the thing, 50 pounds of tomatoes is what I had yesterday. Normally do about 300. And it took me 3 hours to process those tomatoes yesterday. So it's not easy. And normally it would take me 4 to 5 hours to do 300 tomatoes. So think about that. Like, it's not that much more time and effort to process that many more tomatoes. So when you're talking about food preservation, the critical component is go big. I mean, just go big, because you can process so much more and then have so much more for your for winter, and be able to, you know, have that like as your you know, food bank, I guess, right? So so I don't do things in small quantities. So then I also had about 4 pounds of grape tomatoes, and I sliced those, and those went into they're in my dehydrator right now. So today was a big food preservation day for me. And then next week I'll do applesauce, which will be amazing. And I think, was it Lisa? Yeah, Lisa, you said you haven't done applesauce in several years. I know I hadn't either, but I'm like, you know, I'm feeling applesaucey. I think you know, the apples are coming in good, so why not? And Bill has them, so, and he's a willing participant in the venture, so why not, right? So I have to pull other people into my insanity. So yeah, so we'll do applesauce next week. I don't know how much we'll get, but it's, you know, again, my here's the whole lesson, is that when you're talking about food preservation, growing food preservation, like I just went out to my, and I probably had maybe a quarter of a bushel of my own tomatoes that I used yesterday also. But, and then I went out into my garden today. I just picked another half bushel of tomatoes. So plant, like it's so much work. It is so much work to grow your own food, but it is so worth it. It is, it's gratifying. I mean, thanks, Dr. Jen. Yes, hit the thumbs up button. Thank you so much. And I appreciate that. We're trying to grow the channel. I'm like I'm at 790, trying to get to 1,000. My goal was 1,000 in a year when I started all of this last year. And so I'm not quite to 800 right now. And I have 2.5 months more left for the end of the year. So I got to hit 1,000 before the end of the year. That's my goal. Jen says, use a Dutch oven, 3 types of apples, wine saps with some of the peels to give it. Oh, I never thought about using the peels. You know, using the peels would be so much better because I'm kind of lazy. I don't really want to have to peel them. But that's a great idea. The gala, I do like a gala apple to eat, but never thought about making applesauce. And let's see, carnivore ice cream today. Vanilla and mint chip, frozen custard. What'd you make it out of? What's carnivore ice cream? I don't know. This sounds wonderful. So when we're talking about growing our own food, just going back to that for a minute, is that it's a lot of work, you know, so it's a whole nother level. Bentley's got like puppy tears going on. He's out in the backyard. He's going crazy. I feel like I need to show you guys this. Let's see, hold on. You know, just for a little entertainment. Oh, of course he's going to stop. Oh, yeah, he totally stopped. Nice. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, there he is. I lost him. So, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, it's too expensive to eat healthy. Okay, it is expensive to eat healthy, you know, but do you spend a little bit more money up front to buy something organic? Or buy vegetables? You know, people don't actually recognize how much they're spending on processed food, on packaged foods. You know, if you really took your groceries, you would actually find that eating, oh my God, hi, that eating unhealthy is a lot more expensive. And then what's your state of health? What are you spending on medications? You know, how do you feel? Like, you know, from a currency perspective, what's your energy currency? What's your productivity currency? There's so many other factors that goes into this whole, you know, eating healthy. So start buying healthy foods. Then start with plant your own stuff. Just a little bit. Then it gets, I mean, listen, I kind of went beast mode this year. Lisa said, it may be a lot of work, but when you open the can in the middle of winter and get the summer fall flavor. So yes. Oh my God. Okay. So I did a video of, and then Bill says, so true, Lisa, for sure. I did a video today of me, doing my salsa. And I said that exact thing is that what I love about making salsa, and to be fair, it's when I got certified to make my salsa, I actually got 2 products certified. I got my tomato sauce and my salsa. So I made my sauce today. So what my sauce is it's tomatoes, onions, green onions, sweet onions, that's a secret ingredient, green onions, fresh garlic, lemon juice, and sea salt. And that's it. So it's really like fresh and bright and clean. And then the salsa has cilantro and jalapeno pepper. I was too lazy. I didn't want to do that. So you can add your own. Like when I make my sauce, you can... How you got? How's that? You're so cute. So you could add your own spice. You could add your own jalapenos. You could add your own cilantro. You could add olives to it. You could add whatever you wanted. I know, it's so funny. So when I got certified to make my salsa, both of those products got certified at the same time. So I made my sauce today. And I said that exact same thing, Lisa, that I am taking fresh ingredients, putting them right into a jar, right here in the middle of summer. Well, I'm sorry, it's fall, sorry. And then when I open a jar in the middle of winter, it's going to be so amazing. And I couldn't go to the store in January and buy fresh ingredients and make fresh salsa that would taste anywhere near what my canned salsa tastes like. So that is the beauty of it. And, when you're talking about all the things, so the tomatoes I put in the dehydrator, I got those from the farmer's market, but they're fresh. They were grown in soil. And if you don't recognize the difference between a tomato, many vegetables, but a tomato in general grown in soil versus hydroponically, most of the tomatoes that you buy in the store, they're grown in water. They're grown hydroponically. So they don't have that depth of flavor. I had my tomatoes this year, and especially I have the purple green tomato. I forget which one it was called. And you could taste the minerals in that tomato. It was amazing. You do not, even if you buy an heirloom tomato in the store, they're still hydroponic. So you don't get that level of flavor on your palate. They're a little better than the regular tomatoes, but it's not going to cut it. So the inspiration for healthy eating and growing your own food, or I guess I should say the inspiration for growing your own food comes from healthy eating, right? The more you decide that you want healthy food in your life, the more you're inspired to want to grow your own food. And, I can't grow everything. I don't know, some bird or something. I can't grow everything, but I grow a lot of food. I mean, I'm getting probably a bushel to a bushel and a half of vegetables off of my garden every week. That's a lot, you guys. I have a girlfriend of mine who went to, she took a family vacation recently, and she was telling me, I think I was talking to her yesterday or the day before, and she said, oh my God, food is so expensive. Vegetables are so expensive because, they stayed in an Airbnb. It's getting a little cold out here, but I'll show you the garden real quick before I go in. But they stayed in an Airbnb and they had to go grocery shopping every day. And she was like, oh my God. She goes, and I know you grow your own food. You probably don't even know what the cost of food is. And I have hardly been in a grocery store. I went to a grocery store today to get a couple of the green onions because I don't grow green onions. So I got the green onions and the sweet onions for the salsa. But yeah, that's the thing. But you know what? It was sweat equity. It was sweat equity building that beautiful garden over there. And I mean, that's probably, what is that? 10, 20, that's probably 30 feet wide by probably 15 feet or long by 15 feet wide. So it's a lot. And then, and then I have, so this is all food that's going to go in the ground next year. These are all berries. That's a pomegranate, blueberries, elderberry, kiwi, everything you see in pots there, figs. And there's my grafted apple tree. Bill is kind enough to he's going to come and take all these and put them in his greenhouse for me to make sure that they stay healthy throughout the winter. So they're going to be really strong come spring. So, look at the parsley, you guys. This was 2 little plants of parsley. I've been eating off of this for a month now. I mean, it's gorgeous. Oh, look at these. I keep getting these little butterflies in here. Isn't she pretty? I don't know what kind that is. I can't get that one identified, but I had some monarchs in here earlier. But yeah, I mean, this parsley is prolific. Just get a little bit of parsley in the ground and boom, that's gold right there. That is just health like crazy. So, so just plant something. Put something in the ground. Sorry, I'm getting a little cold out there. So yes, it's a lot of work. However, when you're talking about the, you're putting equity into your ground, your garden. It's just a great way to invest in your health, your family's health, and then everything you grow, you can process. And so you can dehydrate, you can freeze it. What else do I have out there? The basil. I cut all my basil down. I dehydrated, I dried the lemon basil, and then the rest of the basil I just de-leafed and I threw it into a Ziploc bag and I froze it. So if you haven't frozen your basil, it goes black, it turns it black, and not completely, like it's just a dark green. But the beauty of freezing basil is that when you use it, it tastes like fresh basil. So dried basil has a little bit of a different flavor, which I like for different reasons. So I wanted a little bit of both. I wanted to be able to have that fresh basil flavor. I wanted to be able to have the dried basil flavor. I have a few more plants I need to go. My oregano is gone gangbusters. I have to get that. And so Lisa, I know I can put my parsley in the dehydrator, but what I'll probably end up doing is eating it all before I can dehydrate it. I just love it fresh. So let me see, I lost track of the chat when I went outside. Jen, what you got here? So Jen, let's see, hit the thumbs up button, thank you. Carnivore ice cream. Jen says, peel them, throw in some of the wine sap peels in the Dutch oven. Oh, to give the applesauce a pretty pink hue. Okay, that's a good idea. Lisa says, it may be a lot of work. Oh, that's right, when we talked about that. And carnivore ice cream, egg yolks, vanilla bean paste, heavy whipping cream. Girl, I am not afraid of some heavy cream, let me tell you that. Paula's in the house, P squared. Where is our buddy Kenny? Where is Kenny today? Jen says, let it boil. You're gonna have to send me this recipe. Can you just, for real, send me this recipe? Because it sounds amazing. He's outside crying now, again. I do have an ice cream machine, so good. Oh, and add an ounce of alcohol of your choice. Okay, must I? Yeah. So nice to see you, Paula. How are you? So when I went out to Bill's a couple weeks ago, I just couldn't get my shit together enough to plan to get all y'all out there with me. But I think you all need to come out there with me. You would love it. His property is beautiful, 200 acres. Just so much going on out there. And again, from an investment perspective, he planted, would you tell me, Bill, 1,000 black walnut trees? I mean, some ridiculous amount of black walnut trees. it was like an investment, right, to use for timber, but it literally takes almost a generation to grow that. So you have to really be thinking, forward when you're talking about growing food and farming and things like that. So if you can do things on a smaller scale, things that grow more quickly, and even just your annual garden, but then like the perennial garden, with the fruit. Oh, I mean, there's a lot of fruit trees or fruit trees, bushes, things that actually will grow, within 3 or 4 years. So it does not take that long. So, oh my God, I don't know what he's doing out here. Let's go see what he's doing. I don't know if you can hear him. That's what I picked. Right before I came online. That's what I picked. Isn't that beautiful? What are you doing? What are you doing in here? I thought you were outside. What's going on? What? Did you lose a ball? Okay, so what he does, my crystals. What? There's nothing under here. Oh, there is. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. He shoves things under things and then decides to cry. So, yeah. What? Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So, just looking to help guide you. What questions do you have? Do you have questions about, how do you start a garden? Because if you can just think about growing, just your annual garden for next year, bro, for real. Oh my gosh. If you just start with something small. Okay. I think his ball went under here. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Okay. So see, he can totally get it. He can totally get it, but he doesn't want to. He wants me to get it. Oh my God. You are okay. Oh my God. I don't know if that's entertaining to you guys or annoying, but we're just gonna do that. Bill says, haven't made frozen custard in years, but it's so good. The alcohol sounds good. I know. Yeah. I took not hazelnut. Oh my gosh. What was the tea? Hickory nut tea. I took that to our event yesterday. And the only thing that was missing was, usually I throw a shot of Irish whiskey and Irish cream. It's so good. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. So Lisa says, I'm going to prep my garden beds for next spring. Can't wait to grow again. Tomatoes, peppers, radish, green peppers. Oh man, radishes are one of those things they evade me. I have grown them because I know they're good to plant around the garden to deter certain pests, but they don't grow well for me, and I love radishes. So is there a particular variety of radish that you grow? Would love to know that. Yeah, how did your tomatoes do this year? Did you do well? My herbs always do well, and so again, it's one of those things. It's like, just start with something. It can be super overwhelming to think, oh my God, do I have to grow all these things? But just grow one thing. Start with a tomato plant. Start with a patio tomato. And, from a health perspective, last week I came home and I was like, I got to do something with all these peppers. So I applewood smoked all the peppers, and then the next day I chopped them up and I put them in a pan with some onions and garlic and tomatoes, and then I froze them all. I froze them in small little bricks so that I could have them for, just a little relish or something. So the beauty of it is, how much good food can you surround yourself with? And how many ways can you use good, healthy things that you grow. So it forces you to be a little creative. And yeah, it takes a little bit of work. Today was today was a long day. Like I said, I came home last night. I spent 3 hours processing tomatoes. Tomatoes it's the hardest part of making salsa, but it was 50 pounds of tomatoes and I have 26 jars of sauce. So it was a pretty good haul for the winter. Normally, and I think I still have a case and a half left from last year. So I'm good. Like, this is a really good winter supply for me. And I can give away a couple of jars too here and there. So, there's several things that it does from a health perspective, is that when you grow your own food, you feel connected. You feel connected to your food. You feel connected to the earth. There is something very enriching about, oh my gosh, I grew this thing. I'm going to pull this. I'm going to pick this thing. I'm going to eat it. Like, there's this whole cycle of connection to food and your health and your body and, what you're putting into it. And I think it makes you more connected or tuned in to taking care of yourself. So the more you can do that, the more you start to decide, oh, geez, maybe I don't need that, Big Mac or whatever. So I think, so if you can just start with something, it's really, really amazing. And if you have kids, get your kids growing food. So, I know Bill's pretty proud because his son is working the farm. So his son is 6th generation, and his son is a big part of that's what he does full time. So that's his legacy. And so for you, from a legacy perspective, is what are you teaching your family? What's your family legacy? And it really should be health. Like, you can have all the money in the world, but if you are sick, if you are dying, if you have cancer, if you have any chronic disease, all you wish for on your birthday is one more birthday. That's it. So we have to think about the impact that not caring for ourselves has. And so taking the time to say, yeah, maybe it's a little more work to grow food. Maybe it's a little more work to prepare. The fall comes. So in the beginning of the summer and late spring, early summer, it's crazy. It's like, oh my God, there's so much work to get the garden in. But then once it goes, it's like, oh my gosh, it's autopilot. And now it's fall and it's like picking everything, and now it's processing, and it's again, dehydrating and canning and freezing. And I still have a bunch of squash that I'm curing off, but I want to actually take those and process those and get those and freeze them. But it's just interesting because it's this cycle, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I know it's going to be a lot of work in the fall, but it's worth it, because then come, through the winter months, I don't have to go to the grocery store for certain things, and I have everything I need here. Try to buy my meat. In fact, I was just thinking, I'm like, oh gosh, I have to get a hold of the farmer that I usually get my pork from, and I'm thinking he probably has some beef I need to buy. So I have to get my freezer stocked for winter, and then that's it. And I'm rarely at the grocery store. I love not going to the grocery store. So if you love not going to the grocery store, give me a thumbs up. That would be amazing. So let's see where we're at. Lisa says, radish is quick to grow. Little bit at a time every 2. Oh, yeah, right. That makes sense. A little bit at a time. Jen says, y'all are funny. Ounce of alcohol is only to keep us softened. Oh, really? We can't. Apparently you forgot who you were talking to here. We're like, put the booze in. Yeah, baby, put the booze in. Yeah, Lisa D says, I love shopping in my own house too. I know. When I went out today and I picked that half bushel of of vegetables. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea this was out here. And there's still more out there to pick. Like there's still more peppers, there's eggplant, there's a kitten in the back of my yard. Uh-oh. Let's see what Bentley does with that one. Okay. And Bill says, yeah, I think it needs two. I know. It always needs a double or more, doesn't it, Bill? I mean, come on now. Especially if you're talking ice cream, like we need to, yeah, let's throw some good stuff on top of that. Jen says, French radishes, daikon, watermelon radish. Yeah, watermelon radishes. I forgot about those. That's a great idea. Kenny, where have you been? Look at you just pop it in. I know, save the baby. It's in the way back of the yard. Bentley's not even. So I got these gourds yesterday from the I know. All right. This is my leftover Bloody Mary because when I make salsa, I have to have Bloody Marys. So that's what makes making salsa special. So yesterday we got these gourds, and apparently you're supposed to make birdhouses out of them. Bill, did you see these? I don't know that you got. Oh, you're so funny. So I get so you get these gourds, and you're supposed to you drill a little hole in it, hang it from a tree, and it becomes a birdhouse, right? Someone else thinks it's something else, because I put them all over by the house, by the corner of the house over there, and yeah, and so we got this going on. Boy, for real, it's not a toy. It's not a toy. And then I got a random shoe hanging out here, so let's take that inside. Okay. All right. So funny. Okay. Okay. So growing food, sorry you guys, it's a little chaotic just because it was a kind of a crazy food preservation day. But I think that's, if you can set your sights for that, it is a toy mother. I know. I think the biggest thing is just starting. So I work with a lot of young moms of young kids. So young moms of young kids. And they don't know how to feed their families. They're super busy. They are, there's soccer and gymnastics and dance and Kenny was putting away his Miracle Whip. Got it. Okay, good. It must have been like one of those 5-gallon buckets then, right? So, moms with these moms today with young kids, they're just, pardon my French, balls to the wall. They can't see straight. They're constantly running kids from one end of town to the next. There's a lot of fast food, and it needs to be, this is where as parents, and they want to do better, they just don't know how. And so, trying to say, yeah, you need to grow a garden is a little unrealistic, but we have to get them started. And so also from a perspective of when you have young kids, is if you're keeping your kids so busy, I just feel like we keep our kids almost too busy sometimes. Like there's just not enough time just to run around and play and be a kid. And, my daughter, she danced and she did gymnastics and she played soccer and she did all the things, but we still had time to just play, I think that's important. And so, I built my garden back there in the back of the yard when she was little. And I would come home from work. My thing when I come home from work is the first thing I do is I have to put on my comfy clothes. So it's like, just do the whole switcheroo, presto changeo, out of your work clothes into your comfy clothes. And she would I'd come in the door and she'd greet me, and then she'd crawl, and she was still crawling, and she'd crawl her little diapered butt into my bedroom. Cause she knew that's where I was going. And then I'd change my clothes, and then she'd crawl back out, and she would go up to the basket, that basket that I showed you. I've had that for almost 20 years. And she would grab the basket, and we would go out to the garden. And because that was our thing, right? So she knew I'd come home, I would change, and we'd go out to the garden. She knew how to identify all of the food. So now she's in Phoenix and she's at college, and fortunately she's living in an apartment so she can cook her own food, because she's this is what she wants to do. This is what she loves to do. And she's cooking her gourmet meals like she knows how to cook. And but it started from identifying food, growing your own food, identifying it, and then having her be in the kitchen with me, with my mom. My mom cooked a lot. My mom was a great cook. And so it becomes this cycle of you can't do everything for your kids. Your kids have to be a part of everything you do. So recognizing that's the pattern. That's how you build that. That's how you create healthy children. Is you can't just shuttle them from one place to the next and then just be you quickly prepping food or running through the drive-thru. You're not going to teach them life skills. So teaching them life skills starts with growing your own food and having family meals. And if you can't have family meals, when my mom died back in 2019, my daughter got up and she spoke at my mom's funeral. And she said, "You're the only person I know who could have a 7-course meal prepared when you pick me up from school every day." And that's what my mom did. My mom, she'd have sliced cucumbers, and this is how we know how to travel with food, right? Sliced cucumbers, a bag of nuts, maybe some sliced cheeses, some sliced meats, a little bit of hummus, but that's what my daughter got used to, right? Is oh, if we're going to eat in the car, we have to have these healthy snacks. So it was really endearing when she said that. Yeah, you're the only person I know who could prepare a 7-course meal in a car. And so even thinking about when you travel, if you have to travel by car somewhere, if you have to be gone all day. I was doing back safety trainings last week or over the last 2 weeks. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this on last Sunday's talk, but my trainings, I had to leave the house at 3. I wasn't home until almost 10. It was a long day. So I did sliced cucumbers, and I did some sliced cheese and some grass-fed beef sticks. What else did I have in there? I did fresh sliced tomatoes from the garden. I just did super healthy snacks, and I was fine. When I got home, I did not even need to eat dinner because I had these healthy snacks with me. So if you can start to set yourself up like that, and it doesn't take much to do these small meal preps, and it makes a big difference in how you take care of yourself and your health and your kids' health, and then how you feel the next day. Can you think clearly? Did you sleep well the night before? So really thinking about your food prep. And then again, if you have your garden, you've got access. Oh my God, I need parsley for tomorrow. I'm going to go out and slice some parsley, and I'll have that for a salad tomorrow. So just a quick thought on that. Hey, I got 10 people here, 6 thumbs up. So if you have not hit that thumbs up button, please hit that. I appreciate that. Lisa says, my adult kids don't help with the garden, but they do like to brainstorm it. I know. And you know what? Even though they don't help, I do feel like you're planting the seeds, right? No pun intended. You're planting the seeds. So hit the thumbs up. If not on the way in, then please on the way out. Let's see. Steve Lato. Oh my gosh. The great Steve Lato is here saying hello. Appreciate it. Yeah, Steve and I have talked about like his busy lifestyle and trying to eat healthy with and keeping it simple because he doesn't really cook very much. Um so that is Steve, how's it going with the food service that you got? He got connected with a food service, so wondering if that's going well. And Paula says even buying and cooking the right food. Yeah, exactly. You don't necessarily have to grow a garden, but it's just going and buying the simplest of things so that you can again slice cucumber, celery, things that are gonna actually help you to nourish your body. So Steve says, I eat like an unsupervised teenager. Unsupervised teenagers, I feel like there's a lot of marijuana involved there too. So I don't know, marijuana and what do they call them? White Claws. I don't know what they, yeah. But I know you don't drink, so. But yeah, got that. Except when I get my factor meals. So is the meal service is that working well for you, Steve, the meal service? And that can be, it can be an answer for people. I still feel like it's a bit of a temporary fix. If we can teach people how to cook, I remember going to my neighbor's house one time and they had one of those meal delivery services and they were cooking a meal from it. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh. And they told me what it cost. Now, if cost isn't an issue, that's probably okay. Like if they're just going to deliver the ingredients to your door. So Steve says, the variety is good and it's easy to make. So that's great. If you don't really know how to cook, it might be the best option. But, I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, I could make 6 times that much in half the time with, twice as much ingredients. Those are skills that I have. So sometimes those meal prep services can be really good. But if you just whittled it down and said, what's the lowest common denominator for eating healthy, that if you had, just looked at chicken breast, some lean meats and maybe some fish, right? And then you did broccoli, you could do broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini. Hi, Mally Mall. Mally Mall is new to the live, and we are talking about healthy eating and growing your own food. So thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And Maxim, so Maxim, you heard the same thing. So yeah, so really if we keep it simple, if we whittle it down, because a lot of people also are trying to save on a budget for food. And so when we're talking about budgeting for food, Kenny and Paula and Lisa, you guys are still here, right? Just asking you guys to watch the chat for me, please. So when we're talking about budgeting food, if we want to talk about scaling budget, thank you, Lisa. You might have to go and, okay, there you go. So Lisa, can you go put your wrench down on some of that, please? Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. Paula says, I used to manage a retirement community, started a healthy meal service with seniors who did not want to leave their homes and move into independent living. It was successful, but spendy. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's sometimes, so if the money is not an issue, then oftentimes you can come in and provide them that service. So it's a balance, right? People want healthy food, but they don't want to spend, but they want to spend the money, or they don't care about spending the money, or they if they want healthy food but they do care about spending the money, then we got to teach them. We have to give them the tools. So let's see. Mally Mall says, just what I needed. Honestly, been trying to get on a new diet. Nothing with my weight, but on cheat days I'll be pushing it. So more than happy to listen to this. Oh, great. Well, it's nice to have you here. Yeah. So we're really just talking about, finding that mindset about your food and what about your food, your lifestyle, your diet, And so you do have to make that, I don't necessarily even want to call it a sacrifice, I guess decision. You have to make the decision. Do I want good health or do I want fast food? Because, sometimes, a lot of people will be like, it's just easier to go through the drive-through, but I want good health. So you can't have both. You absolutely cannot have both. And you have to make a decision at some point of what is going to be best for you. So if you can grow food, great. But if you can't grow food, then you have to figure out how to shop. And there's videos on my page here that will help you understand how to shop simply so that you can pour into your health a little bit better. Steve, Taco Bell is not food. Okay, so Steve says Taco Bell isn't healthy food. Taco Bell is not food. Okay, so let's just go there. All right. You are funny. You're funny. Steve, how did it go with Jay Leno at the Woodward Dream Cruise? I forgot to reach out to you and ask you about that. So was that fun? Did you have a good time? Did you get to meet Jay Leno? Jen says, thank you, Paula, by the way. Jen says, I love being a chef. Comes in handy, creating all kinds of, and again, sometimes when you decide to make a healthy shift in your life, you're like, I'm just going to try my hand at cooking. And you realize, I really enjoy it. I really like it. Because again, I think it's one of those connections. Cooking doesn't have to be difficult. Doesn't have to be complex. There's a lot of simple ways to cook. And so if you can just take those simple techniques and simple ingredients, you're golden, right? So Jen says, my problem is I love to grocery shop. I don't trust anyone to pick out my groceries. I want the best of what is there. I got mad respect for that. So I actually do like so this is seasonal for me. So in the summertime, I love to be in my garden. I love to be at farmers markets. I love to, grow my own food, pick my own food, cook my own food. And then in the winter, there are times I actually like grocery shopping. So I appreciate it. I want to go. I totally hear what you're saying. I want to pick out my own peppers. I want to see the meat if I'm buying it from a store, which is rare. But yeah, I totally get you there. Paula says she was cooking. What are you cooking, Paula? Anything good? Kenny says, I love it too, Dr. Jen, all that food calling out my name. Listen, as long as you put Miracle Whip on it, Kenny's in for sure. Let's see. Dr. Jen says, I want my joints to not ache like a seasoned carpet layer when I'm 65. Dude, for real, like that's such a legit thing, right? And you're young. You're so young. So I'm so glad you realized that. Steve says, I assumed food made by teenagers with a towel would have to be good. I don't necessarily know that I have an answer to that, but okay. Sometimes, you know what happens when you assume, Steve, right? Yeah. Just remember that taco spelled backwards is OCAT. I don't get it, Kenny, except are you thinking they use cat meat? Is that what that is? I don't know. Bill says Taco Bell isn't Mexican food either. It is nothing. It is not food at all, right? Steve, Paul is giving you some shit over there. Steve says, met him again. It was a lot of fun. He talked to a lot of people there. So Steve went to the Dream Cruise. His brother is working on a car for Jay Leno. So that's pretty cool. And it's a classic car, the Turbine, right? It's the Turbine. I don't want to say it wrong. Not the turbine, right? It's the Turbine. So there's only, how many of those are in the United States? And Jay Leno has one, and Steve's brother's working on it for him. Chrysler Turbine car. There you go. Okay, I'm impressed with myself that I remember that. Lisa says, do not trust young Walmart workers to pick out the best. Yeah, I know. I get a little sketchy with the whole Instacart thing too, because I'm like, you are not going to know what like I want my vegetables to look like. So I would rather go for sure. Chicken cutlets, no Miracle Whip. With you, Paula. Everything. Kenny wants Miracle Whip on anything. We'll give it to you, Kenny. We're giving you your Miracle Whip, bro, for sure. That's so funny. I love you guys. I love you so. Wait, Jen, you are not older than me. How old are you? Are you serious? You are not older than me. No, there's no way. You are not older than me. For sure. No. And if you think you're older than me, then, oh my God, I'm like, listen, I'm super flattered. So Steve says, oh, there's only 9 left? 9 turbine cars left. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Did not know that. What'd they do? Destroy them? What happened to the turbine cars? If you didn't hit the thumbs up button, hit it for me. Wait. Jen says she's older than me. Paula, you're 59. Wait. Okay, I'm super confused now. Okay, what are the ages? Okay, I just turned 57. So, Jen, how old are you? Yeah, no seed oils. Yep, 80% fat. Oh, we're talking about how Jen's eating, right? Blackberries, apples, sample, bowls. Okay, yeah. Jen, so super proud of Jen. She lost 60 pounds just by changing how she's eating. And listen, this was wait, why did they destroy the cars though, Steve? I never got that. Jen, I'm 57. I'm 57. You are not 53. There's no way you're 50. You are not 53. Anywho, okay, where was I going? I got lost on, like, I'm 29. 29. Let's see. LMAO for sure. Yeah, why did they destroy the cars? That is kind of bizarre. Hit the thumbs up button if you are here, if you did not already. I know I keep saying that, but I'm seeing more. I have a whole chapter in my book. Okay, Steve has written how many books? So I leave the office one day. Steve gave me an autographed copy of one of his books. Sitting in the office. And I leave the office. I was gone for 2 hours and I came back and Bentley decided to go into the bathroom, grab toilet paper. He's got toys all over the place. He grabbed toilet paper. He shredded Steve's book, among so many other things. It was like a sea of paper all over the floor. So I took a picture and I sent it to Steve, and Steve said, "Is that a book report?" And I said, or a critique. And I said, "Yes." He ate up every word. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. So I leave the book. The book is there because he also chewed up a book on dogs that a friend of mine gave me after Hudson died. And I was like, I can't throw either book away. How do you throw a book away on dogs that your dog ate? Anyway, okay. Let's see. So Kenny says, Steve, does the 9 include the one at the Auburn Hills Museum that I've seen? Kenny, impressed that you know what the turbine is. Okay. Paula has celebrated 30 anniversaries on her 29th birthday. Oh, we had that conversation a couple weeks ago. Yes, for sure. And Steve says the Chrysler Archives has 2 of the remaining. Yeah, pretty interesting. I had no idea about those. Spelled turbine, but I feel like it's one of those things like Oregon. If you say Oregon, like you got to say Oregon, right? Yeah. So I didn't know that, Kenny. Now we know. Okay. So turbine. No. So not pronounced turbine, pronounced turbine. Am I correct on that, Steve? Turbine. Yes, I got that. Okay. Got it. Okay. Glad we could get some classic car information in here too. Yeah, I agree with you, Lisa. I'm like, really? Why spell it turbine if you want it pronounced turbine? Yeah. Yeah, turbine. Yeah, turbine sounds like turban. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we have all that going on. All right, what else? So I processed salsa. I did tomatoes. They're in the dehydrator. We're doing apples next week. It is not easy to process food, but it's a slow process. So making those decisions and starting to get slowly into it, once you do one, then you're like, I'm in. Steve says he did an entire video on pronunciation controversy. I have to go watch that. So you guys go follow Steve's channel. He's got some really fun videos on there. He is actually an attorney here in Michigan, a lemon law attorney, but then does videos on just kind of like weird, wacky law cases here. So go follow him. You'll be entertained. A lot of times when I can't sleep in the middle of the night, I turn on his channel and I just watch like crazy law videos. So, yeah, so there's that. Don't take that the wrong way, Steve. Did that sound weird that I watch him in the middle of the night when I can't sleep? I'm like a stalker. Jen says eating grilled veal burgers with Redmond sea salt now. Girl, I'm telling you, I love my Redmond sea salt. So now Jen, I posted Steve's info before, so maybe that's where you've seen him, or do you follow him? Have you followed him before? Let's see. Oh, Lisa D, you are awesome. Thank you for being on deleting. Are we getting attacked? We're getting a lot of people jumping on here that are like a little stalkerishy. Paula says, I went to the cider mill, got some apples, made some applesauce. Nice. I love it. Yeah, I'm in the mood for some applesauce. You do have a soothing voice, Steve. You do. Yeah. Or it puts me to sleep. Like how do you want to take that? That was the day I missed you, Don. Okay. All right, we're back then. Just asking, I know they're asking weird questions and making weird statements. So super appreciate all of you guys with the blue wrench that you're like, I think we can give Jen a blue wrench. Dr. Jen's my girl. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, what are with these people? So Steve, you don't go live though, do you? Oh yeah, Leto's Law. Yes, so look at that, Steve. You have fans. You have fans on here. I brought you fans. Yeah, super fun. So you really only need the blue wrench when you go live. But Steve said he doesn't even care about watching his comments anymore. I'm like, who's commenting? I can't disconnect from that. I want to know who loves me. Yeah. Go look for Leto's Law. Paula, do you follow him? And Kenny, are you following him? Kenny, he's got all kinds of fun stuff. Oh my God, he's totally your jam. Yeah. So he's got Leto's Law, and then he's got the Vault. And Steve, is it Leto's? Hold on, let me see. Let me drop it in here. I forgot what the Vault was. Is it just Steve Leto's Vault? Yes, go check him out. Steve Leto Vault. That's what it is. Yeah. There you go. Let me put this in here. There we go. Here. Okay. Did you mean to say a law nerd? There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Marketing 2020. You brought the tiny bottles. Yeah. So I brought the tiny bottles of Redmond. I have a whole bag full of them, and everybody knows me for my little tiny bottles of Redmond salt. Let's see. P as opposed to 1 P squared. Don't know what that is. Okay, so I just dropped Steve's Link to the vault. Yeah, there's another one. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa's on the magic wrench today. Oh my gosh. Like, what are these people, just like these stalkers? It's so crazy. But Steve, you never told us, why did they destroy the cars? I know that has nothing to do with health and wellness or what we're even talking about today. I don't even know what that said either. I have no idea. Like, what is wrong with people? Anywho, okay, pretty sure those, yeah, I feel like it was too. Yeah, that was really weird. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate you, girl. So Dr. Jen, okay, let's go follow Dr. Jen. Dr. Jen, let's see, hold on. Sorry, I can't quite see. Oh, Dr. Jen with 2 N's on YouTube. Okay, go follow Dr. Jen. Let's see, what are you doing over here, Dr. Jen? Dr. Jen. Not finding you, Dr. Jen. Hold on. Oh, Dr. Jen. There we go. Yeah, okay. So Dr. Jen and I, we were in the same... No, I can't find you, Jen. Where are you? Dr. Jen 2004? No. Dr. Jen on YouTube. Oh, you haven't posted. Okay. Yeah, because it's not coming up. So it must not, your page must not be public. Okay, so here's the thing. I am here to love and support you. So jump on with us next Sunday. And I'll be happy to drop your link down here as well. And if you do anything like super fun and cool and you want me to share the video, just let me know and I'll share that out too. Kenny says, sorry for my tardiness with the wrench. I look away to check the Lions game when something happened. Wait, the Lions are more important than me? Come on, Kenny. Come on now. Oh, you found it, Peaceful Penguin. Look at Peaceful Penguin. Kenny says, Gen 1 Viper on your page, Steve. Yes, I think so. I'm going to say yes. Yeah, no, Steve has like, wait, Steve, you're at 462,000 followers. Oh my God. You are moving and grooving. Steve has been so kind to, he's been a bit of a coach for me. Oh, there we go. Okay, Jen, I just subscribed. You know, I have 2 subscribers. Thanks, Peaceful Penguin, for posting that. Yeah, no, Steve's like the Mac Daddy when it comes to YouTube. So Steve has given me lots of coaching on YouTube. He really, I mean, it was when I was starting last year, he gave me some really great information. It was interesting because he was like, I kept asking him questions and he, you know, and I'm like, I hope you don't mind that I keep asking you all these questions. He's like, what I do mind is when people ask me questions and they don't do what I suggest they do. And he goes, you've done everything I tell you to do. And I'm like, I know, I just want to be good. So anyway, so then, you know, we became kind of BFF. We became like YouTube BFFs, but you know, yeah. So that was cool. So thank you, Steve. Super grateful also, like, just so you know. Always grateful for you and your insight, you know. So, and then he comes into the office one day and he's like, all right, I don't mean to, like, if this is too much, if me telling you stuff is too much, let me know. And I'm like, no, like, tell me, like, I'm a sponge. I'm going to soak it up. So it's really cool. It's really great to have somebody who's that far ahead of you that, is happy to help you. So, always appreciate that. And so, Jen, we are here for you to help you build your YouTube channel too. So how can we help? Oh, Lisa, yeah, 436. Is that all? 462. I mean, yeah, that would be a lot, but 436 now. Kenny says, nothing, no one is more important than you are, Queen. Ah, thank you. I love you, Kenny. You know, I love you. And yeah, Steve is a badass. All right, you guys. Okay, so I hope that was a little bit of a rogue explanation or conversation with regards to just your health. I love my kiss ass Kenny. He is, I know. But Kenny sends me flowers too, so that's okay too. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Uh, you guys, I love you all so much. Listen, we're going to get all of us together and we're going to do something really, really friggin' cool. So I don't know what it is yet, but we're going to do it. Okay. Wrench him, Lisa. You know what? Don't wrench him. Throw a jar of Miracle Whip at him. Do that. Oh my gosh. I know he has a wrench. You guys are just going to throw wrenches at each other. That's what's going to happen. Jen's got a wrench. Jen's in the club now. She's official. Woo woo. That's awesome. All right, you guys, it is 7:09. Return. I know. I wish we could see, like, I'm feeling like it's like that. Was it Pong? That game from the 80s when it was like, just a bong, bong, bong. You just threw this thing back and forth. Yeah, he might like that. Mayo. I love it. I'm just sitting here reading your chat, just super entertained. Yes. All right, I'm gonna go have dinner. It is 7:10. I'm exhausted from processing food all last night and all day today. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for showing up for me every week. I appreciate you so much. Please share this channel. Listen, yes, it was Atari. That's what it was, Paula. I'm like at 7. I'm not quite to 800, but I'm trying to get to 1,000 before the end of the year. So please share out my channel. If you see any of the videos that I post regularly, please go ahead and share those. I love you. I love you for being here. Feel just so connected. And you guys are my family, my YouTube family. I couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. Love you so much too. And I will see you next week. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.